Hello guys, the source of the book or the essay I'll be discussing in this video has not been confirmed. Ian Duncan have refused the claim that it belongs to him, while Baltimore Editorial Times has also refused that the book was edited by them. So the source of the essay has not been claimed. However, I have my opinion on the essay. Thank you as you watch. Today, I'm going to be discussing a very controversial, I will say again, a very controversial topic. And if you are a fellow that is easily offended by racism or racism that have been affected that or is easily traumatized with the issue of racism, so we advise you might decide to turn off your camera or you scroll and leave this video, because I'm going to be touching some very sensitive information and some very sensitive talk. So I'm not here to offend anyone, but I'm here for my opinion, which I know is very important to me. It's very important, and I believe that there are people out there that subscribe to my view. So today I'm going to be touching the topic. People that knows me, they know that I'm not a controversial person. They know that I am not a troublesome person, but they knew that I am an inquisitive person. I am very inquisitive. I challenge status quo when I know something is not right. Today I was having a discussion. I was having a word with one of my friend at work. So he brought my attention to this article. So he asked me, Shedrack, do you want to read something really controversial? Like something really... I said, no, I'm not offended, but I know I have opinion. So he said, The Black Dilemma, written by Ian Duncan. It was published in Baltimore. So I will not be able to read everything, but I have stated out some of the topic that I will be touching. So he make reference to Africa. He said, for 150 years, an experiment has been going on in the United States of America. And the experiment has been between black people and white rich. And he said, the working class white. And he said, the subject of the experiment, the black people and working class white, the hypothesis to be tested, can a people taken from the jungle of Africa and forced into slavery be fully integrated as citizens in a majority white population? First of all, we have problem with this author of the article. He designated Africa as people taken from the jungle. Africa were not jungle. They were great civilization in Africa. The point is that, do we have to keep schooling these white folks? Do we have to keep schooling these white guys that they don't understand? Is it the culture not to really give the proper education in Africa, in America, or what? So that the cycle of degrading Africa will continue? Is that the culture? Or is that the way of life to keep degrading Africa? Africa were not jungle. Africans were not jungle. Africa, actually, there was a big civilization in Africa before we were invaded. In fact, invasion came into Africa in the 18th. But there have been a notable, highly developed, civilized, modern civilization in Africa before the white came to invade us, which was in the 18th century. But there has been a civilization since 10th century, 11th century. And I can name some of those civilizations for you. I don't want to go too deep. Some of those civilizations are where I came from. Is Benin Empire, the Oyo Empire, the Mali Empire, the Bono Empire, the Kingdom of Lunda,
the Ashanti Empire, Ghana Empire, Musi Empire, Wasangali Sultanate Empire, Unjiri, the Kingdom of Unjiri. So they are this notable empire. They were called empire for a reason. They were called empire for a purpose. It's because they are civilized. So when he said that taken from the jungle, that really hurt my feelings, because Africans are civilized. In fact, civilization started from Africa. There was a reason Egypt were called the cradle of civilization. There was a reason for it. Why Egypt were called the cradle of civilization. Civilization spread to the rest part of the world from the River Niles, which is dated 5,000 years before invasion in Africa. So when someone came up with an article and said people taken from the jungle of Africa, it really hurt my feelings, which was not true. That was a bombarded lie from the pit of hell. That must be refuted. It must be rebuked, because that was a big lie. So let me go down. He said the whites were descendants of European who had created a majestic civilization. The former slave has been tribal people with no written language and virtually no intellectual achievement. That really bombed. When I read that, really it destroyed and crumbled my morals. If there's an empire created in Africa before the colonization, do you know the meaning of empires? Do you know what it takes to build an empire? The trade relation, the diplomatic relation that took place. Do you know the diplomatic to create an empire? Do you think it's about bringing people together? No. To create an empire, there is a trade relation that will be going on within the people around the vicinity. There's a diplomatic relationship that's going on. There's a trade and everything. The way the people are governed, there's a strategic and a very well democratic and a diplomatized way of ruling in Africa before we were invaded. So someone saying that there's no intellectual achievement before we were invaded is an insult to me, to the black race, to Africans. In fact, there has been a civilization 5,000 years ago before it spread to the rest part of the world, before it spread to Europe. So this man, Ian Duncan, saying that there was no any recorded intellectual achievement by we Africa before we got invaded was a blunt lie. If further went down, I will not be able to read everything. He said, if you are fortunate, I will advise you, go and read it. It is the Black Dilemma, written by Ian Duncan. I'm going to drop the name of the author of the book in my video. Try and read it. Get educated and get informed. It is very important. If further goes down, he said, and beside, he said, when the doors were open to the rest part of the world, for people to come to America, to have the American dream, he said the Asian came, they become rich. The rest part of the world, the Europeans also came again. The Indians came, they became rich. The Cubanians came, they become rich. That only Africa came to America and failed and remained poor. So I asked him, did he forgot the 400 years of slavery? These people he just mentioned, they came to this country by choice. These countries he just made mention, they came to this country by choice. They were not forced, but Africans were taken. Before they got here, homes were destroyed in the African continent. Families were destroyed. Children were raped. Children were traumatized. Pedophiles, they were raped, traumatized. Some that made it here, the same rape, everything continued. Before they made it here, those that survived, those are the ones that were now thrown into the river in the Mediterranean Sea.
also refuse that.
Those that were able to make it here, they continue in the same suffering, in the same trauma.
So the source
Some gave birth, most people gave birth in the same trauma, in the same condition.
opinion on the essay. Thank you.
And here telling us that only Africans were unable to succeed when they got to this country. Did you forget that it's a chain reaction, it's a circle? The family you destroyed back in Africa, the father you took away from the family, the mother you took away from the family, the child you killed. Do you know that that is you just destroy the family? And what makes up a society is a family. If the family is not well organized, there's no way you can have a meaningful society. So the family system has already been destroyed in Africa. So how do you expect it to grow a society when the family system, the family value has been destroyed? When the father was taken away, the breadwinner of the family was taken away from them, was killed, and the children, the girls, the women, the girls were raped before they got here. So the trauma. So how do you think those kind of people can overcome such trauma psychologically? And here he said, only Africa have refused. I've remained poor. That was an insult to me, to the people that look like me. So I said, I must say something about it. When it comes to accountability, I know I am not one of those black men that's stuck in the history that refuse to move forward. No. I am one of those black people that believe, yes, we African, we suffered this, we went through this, but what happened? It makes us strong. I have decided to move forward. So I'm that part of Africa. I am in that group of Africans that wants to go forward. Yes, I know. We went to slavery 400 years. Even this writer forgot that 60 years ago, a black man and a white man cannot stay in the same bus. And if the black man got to the bus, he has to what? Stand up if once a white man comes in. This writer forgot that if we are even talking about racism in America, if we are even talking about racism all over the world, that racism is still in this country. But we know there is a development, there's progress. I call it progress in the eradication of racism. It's all over in America, also in Italy. I'm a folk that stay in Europe. So 6 good years in Italy. For 6 good years, I was not able to have common driver license. Common driver license. Not because I am not ready to have this, but because the system does not permit me to have the driver license. Could you imagine in Italy, if I Chinese, you can write driving school, you will go to driving school, driving test with Chinese, with German, with French. But me, someone that look like people like me that comes from English speaking Africa, we have to take it in Italy. And if you look at the handout is almost 600 pages, and I have to read 600 pages. So tell me, why will they give opportunity to Chinese, to German, to French, but me that speak English? No. It's part of the racism and the system we are talking about. So this man, Ian Duncan, if he's listening to me, if he fortunate or eventually watch my video, come across my video, he needs to sit down with me. We need to sit down and have a discussion. We talk. Maybe we need to sit down and talk, and I don't think there's a way I will explain to him that he will understand my pain. But still, I am a part of Africa that wants to move forward. I want to go forward. I want to forget. Yeah, racism happens to me. My forefathers, yes, it all happens to them. The trauma was passed on to me. The family that was destroyed, they are my great grandfathers. Yes, but I want to move forward. We black folk, we also must start taking responsibility, accountability for our actions. If you happen to watch my video yesterday, I talked about why should I keep calling my fellow black man a nigger, but when a white man calls me a nigger, I got so angry. Those are one of the I'm talking about. When you don't use a word, automatically the word what we get extinct and forgotten. But because we kept using the word nigger, that's what the word nigger, we immortalize the word nigger. That's why in the next generation we meet, we know what is called nigger. The white people don't call themselves redneck. The Italians don't call themselves Guinea. They don't greet each other with Guinea. But only we kept calling one another nigger. That's why nigger. No, got immortalized. So we must keep, also we white people, black people, we must start to take accountability. We must start to accept the result of our action. I was at work today when a mother told me that her son, 14 years old boy, already have 3 felonies. So I know once he became 18 years, those felonies will get expunged from his history. Once he become 18, as from 21 years, anything he does will be permanent. But since he's still a teenager, underage, it will get expunged at 18. But the question is, how can 18 years old boy have 14 years old boy have 3 felonies already? Is that a result? Would you say that is the result of racism, or that is as a result of that guy's action? We also have to accept our own blame. Also, we also have to accept, because I work in a neighborhood, in a gas station, where I see daily, day-to-day people, every normal daily activity. I saw it every day by day. I know what I'm talking about. Most of us, we need to be taught accountability. I know we went through that, but we have to move forward. We, black community, I'm a black man. I am proud of it, and I accept who I am. I am not shy. So some people think, oh, I shouldn't be seeing myself as a black man, I should see myself as a human being. But I'm sorry, if you want to solve the problem of racism, first of all, we have to identify ourselves. I'm a black man. You have to accept me for being a black man and treat me like human. We have to see the differences first before we can see similarities. If you don't see differences, you cannot see similarities. If you don't see differences, there's no way we can find a way to work together. So I'm a black man and I'm proud of who I am. Black folk, get educated, get sense. Accountability is very important. I hope you guys have a nice day. This is Shedivi Blog. If you happen to come across my video, share it, criticize me, comment. You are welcome. I want to be criticized, in fact. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Dukan, hi and Dukan. If you eventually come across my video, if you want to have a talk, come on, we have a talk. I have been a folk that have lived in 3 worlds. I've been in Africa, I've been in Europe, now in America. So I got some experience to share with you. I didn't just pass, I lived there for 6 good years, and I left almost 16, 17 years almost 20 something years in Africa. I'm here now. So I wasn't just passing by. I actually live like every normal human being. So I can give you some stories, some experience that you can learn from. You have a nice day, guys.